The artist's life, I've often felt, is a living, breathing paradox. The same gift that gives you vision also tears you apart. It's a strange dichotomy of being a creative person. The very traits that make you the best version of your creative self. Your sensitivity, imagination, obsession, and the ability to feel things that most people never even notice are also the ones that cause you the most emotional pain and the ones that society understands the least. And I'm not talking about the tortured genius myth. I'm just saying that the life that us creatives sometimes follow are extremely unbalanced. Schools crush your instincts while the market starves you and worships a lucky few. Society loves your work on a t-shirt but doesn't care if you can't pay rent. In today's video, I'm trying to unpack why artists' lives are often their salvation and also their worst punishment. This is the artist's paradox, the good and the bad. Chapter 1. Born with a Contradiction. Creative people are contradictions in human form. Psychologist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi called it the paradoxical personality. Artistic temperaments often burst with energy and then collapse into deep rest. You are full on serious about your work and then suddenly the most playful version of yourself. As artists, we crave solitude to do our work and then suddenly we desperately need people and we want our work to be validated. We are often both humble and then proud, equal parts rebel and conformist. This chaos seems to be the artist's superpower. It's what fuels new ideas, and these contradictions often stir up feelings which words can't express. And these then need a creative outlet to be understood by the artists themselves. It's the reason why art exists at all. But the world unfortunately doesn't like contradictions too much. Schools, universities, your workplace all demand neatly packaged personalities which can be folded and squarely put into a box. Neat, measurable, consistent, trainable, and scalable. So from a very young age, we're given tests, scores, and we are actively molded into the 4 or 5 personalities which are deemed more productive and more useful by the school system. Professor Kyung-hee Kim studied 300,000 creativity scores and realized that creativity has been on the decline since the 90s. What researcher George Land found in the NASA creativity test is even more alarming. It showed that the school system actively trains us to become non-creative. I went through this study in another one of my videos recently. Think about that. We don't lose our creativity, it is trained out of us. As Sir Ken Robinson said, if you're not prepared to be wrong, you'll never come up with anything original. But our school systems score us on being right or wrong. We're actively punished when we are wrong and rewarded when we are right. So we learn early on that our instincts, our questions, our wildness are a problem. And it's that first wound which leads to the artist's paradox. The world teaches you that your gift is a liability. Chapter 2. The Professional Abyss. Unfortunately, if you thought your early years were brutal, wait till you enter the hellscape that is the free market economy. The art and music world especially is a winner-take-all market. Robert H. Frank and Philip Cook's term, a handful of artists hit the jackpot and everyone else scraps for the crumbs. The numbers are savage. In the US, the National Endowment for the Arts found that the median artist income is around $20,000 a year, less than half the national median. A survey by the Creative Independent found that over 60% of artists made under $30,000 a year. Nearly 75% make less than $10,000 a year from their art. Sociologist Mark Stern calculated a Gini coefficient, which is a measure of inequality, of 0.584 for artistic professions, way more unequal than the national US workforce. This is closer to the inequality levels found in third world countries run by armed dictatorships. So what does this mean? It means that there is no middle class in the art and music world. And slowly, all the support systems we may have had are being uprooted by market forces. It's absolute lottery odds. A few Basquiats, a million nobodies. Chapter 3. The Rhythm Problem of Creativity. With creative work, there is a huge rhythm problem. Creativity unfortunately doesn't move in straight lines. It's chaotic, unpredictable, and can hit you anywhere at any time. It's filled with bursts of obsession and then silence. Long periods of unproductive incubation followed by sudden breakthroughs. It needs a lot of time to process, to be thought out and then put into action. But the economy wants you to work linearly. A constant 9 to 5 followed by constant output. The productivity machine is the absolute opposite of what the creative mind needs. Slowness, rumination, reflection, and then action when the idea comes. Research shows that creativity peaks under medium stress but collapses under chronic anxiety. And what do most of us artists live in? In a state of constant anxiety, juggling side jobs, chasing gigs, trying to make rent. And then we sit and wonder, why is the state of art so bad in the world right now? It's because we have created a world which rewards everything besides our most powerful human instinct, the power of being creative. Chapter 4. The weight of the gift. This is the part which always breaks my heart. The pressures from the outside world don't stay outside, they crawl into our heads. Ulster University found that creatives are 3 times more likely to suffer from mental illness. 36% reported anxiety, 32% depression. A huge Swedish study found that writers were more prone to bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, and substance abuse. Now, should we label people who are born creative as dysfunctional or fragile people? Or should we call out the world for creating a made-up social and economic system which rewards you for being a soulless drone over truly exploring and expanding the human mind and its possibilities? These are not fragile people. They're born into fragile, anti-human conditions. Most creatives also, unfortunately, are the most likely to suffer from imposter syndrome. Unlike engineers or surgeons, artists have no objective measure of success. Everything is subjective, temporary, market-driven. That means that every success feels like a fluke. Every win feels like luck. This makes most artists constantly exist in survival mode, always feeling like success is not of their own making, but failure is their own burden to carry. The truth is, the imposter in this room, it isn't you. It's the system quietly whispering in your ear, you don't belong here. Chapter 5. Fixing the ecosystem. People love to say, be resilient, as if suffering is noble, as if grinding through abuse is a part of the job. I think we have to reject that. Resilience only goes so far. The system itself has to change. We can't keep letting some random suits decide the value of our lives. We need to know our rights and what our creativity brings forth into this world. And we have to stop fighting each other. The free market isolates us on purpose. It pits us against each other, so we keep fighting and undercutting each other till our work is worth nothing. The truth is, we are not rivals. We are a community, and a system where 20 people are filthy rich while everyone else starves is not a business model. It's daylight robbery. This is why labor matters. Artists are some of the most precarious workers alive, gig to gig, contract to contract. But unions are rising. Museum workers, theatre staff, freelancers are all demanding fairer and better wages. I think that's the way forward. Together, not individually. Mental health support is also critical. Studies show when care is designed for artists, depression and anxiety rates drop dramatically. So I think instead of constantly being envious of creatives who are doing better than us, or scoffing at artists we deem inferior, we have to recognize that all of us carry within us the same creative spirit, the same source asking to be let out into the world and to be acknowledged. So even if the general public isn't looking out for us, I think us as artists should look out for each other. When you think somebody has tried their best, raise them up. And if you reach a place of prominence, build up artists who you think deserve more love. What artists I think really need is career sustainability, mid-career support, mentorship, programs that pay you to keep building, not just one grant or one exhibition or one song, but a collaborative community which says, hey, go ahead, do your best, I've got you. And at the root of all of this, I feel, is education. The first wound of this paradox happens in school. If school stopped killing creativity and started treating it as a core skill, equal to math, equal to literacy, the next generation wouldn't already grow up injured, wounded, and looking out only for themselves like a hungry dog that has been left out to dry. Society cannot keep romanticizing the starving artist while consuming their work on coffee mugs. It's immoral, disgusting, and honestly just wrong. This needs to change. If we value art, we have to value artists as human beings. The tortured artist is not destiny, it's propaganda. The paradox is real, but the suffering is not inevitable. The gift will always carry tension between solitude and community, authenticity and survival, between freedom and compromise. This tension is the price of seeing differently, but tension does not have to be torment. The hurt comes from systems unfit for creative people, and systems can change. If you've stayed for so long, thank you so much, and I would love to know in a comment why you think the artist's life feels like a paradox. As a musician myself, I love sharing my music, and here's a song I made recently that I'm really proud of. And if you prefer more of these talking head style videos, here's a video for you to check out. If you liked any of them, please leave a comment. I would love to connect with you.